In this video, I'm going to cover tips for sub 2 on Megaminx. By now, for star, you should have your F12 colors memorized and know what order they go in. So the next step is to actually start planning out parts of the star. One way I like to do this is something I call 2-2-1, which is you first start off with any of the star edges, and then you focus on pairing it. You focus on pairing it up with either adjacent star edge. So here I'm going to start with purple. Purple is here, and it's adjacent to green and yellow. I see green here, and purple and yellow is here. So purple yellow is going to be a lot easier to insert rather than purple green. So, and you can just do that by bringing this down to F2. And so that's the first two done. Now for the next two, I have blue, red, green. And blue and red are closer and are also adjacent, so I'm going to focus on these two. Just going to bring this down like that. And then the star is done. It's similar to what you would do on a 3x3, but this is just broken down into more steps because solving all 5 edges of the star at the same time is really difficult, so don't try that. And basically you just want to get used to just breaking down the star into like 1 or 2 or 3 steps. I don't really have any specific tips for F2L for sub 2, but one thing I want to bring up is that you should be able to navigate to like any of the F2L colors. Let's say here I'm going to start with this purple yellow pair. Even though purple yellow is opposite of where I'm probably going to form this pair, which would go like this. And 3-move insert. You should be comfortable with moving the pair around to like the opposite side in an efficient manner so that you don't waste a lot of moves. For S2L, now that you've picked an order, you should start remembering what pieces you have to look for in each part of S2L. So here's the first part, or the last part of F2L. Once I insert this pair, since I do red first, I'm gonna go look for pretty much anything with red on the rest of the cube, in particular with the red edges. So here's one and here's another. So I'm going to insert this, and then I'm just going to look around. Here's one, here's another. Just quickly think about how to insert them. You don't have to be too efficient. Just do something like that. And then once you're done with that, just work on the pairs as normal as I said in the previous video. Just kind of like put them in the front slice and just pair them up. Another thing for S2L is it's very useful to learn how to insert pairs with F moves instead of rotating and doing L moves. I know I mentioned rotating and inserting it like this in the previous video, but it's a lot faster to just do something like this. And at this point you should sort of like I guess like dabble into the idea and just figure out what's comfortable with you, and just figure out which F move finger tricks work best for you. So this is another transition point. So once I finish this last slot, my next face is green. So I'm gonna after I finish this slot, I'm gonna quickly scan for the green, and it's here. And you just repeat, so after this will be like purple or something, then yellow. Last layer for sub 2 isn't really any different from last layer for sub 3, it's just a bit faster. One thing I want to mention though is that you should sort of like recognize patterns in CO and CP. So for CP here, if I do the commutator like this, I'll notice that I pretty much only go like, I do like a U prime for every transition. And there's another case where you do like just a U for every transition, it's a mirror of that, and then one like U2 and then U2 prime. Just sort of like keep an eye out for these patterns so that if you recognize the case, you can just do the commutator faster because you'll know what corners to swap pretty quickly. Another thing that I want to bring up is that you should just look into which PLOs transfer over from 3x3. I have a video in my full Megaminx PLO series that covers this. So this is one of the cases. It looks a lot like a Y-perm on 3x3, and as you can see, if I do the 3x3 Y-perm alg, you'll see that it is a Y-perm. So you just want to go through that video and just pick any out, just go through the recognition for each one, because it'll help a lot. If you just happen to have one of those cases and you recognize it, and then you just skip the two-step process of last layer.